Welcome to AI Brief, episode 419. I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah, and today we're diving into some pretty significant moves across the industry.
We really are. We've got OpenAI making a huge strategic hire.
A new search engine that's built for bots, not people.
Plus, some major funding news and some pretty eye-opening updates from Spotify and even the Pentagon.
And of course, we'll run through the top AI tools you should be looking at right now.
So let's just jump right in. OpenAI has hired Peter Steinberger. For anyone who isn't completely plugged in, who is this guy?
Okay, so Peter Steinberger is the creator of a project that went viral called OpenClaw. And, the backstory here is just wild.
It all happened so fast, right?
Incredibly fast.
Yeah.
So about 2 months ago, he releases this personal AI assistant, and he calls it ClawdBot.
ClawdBot. I'm guessing the team at Anthropic wasn't too thrilled about that.
Not at all. They sent the lawyers, trademark issues, the whole thing. So he rebrands it kind of cheekily to Moltbot.
Moltbot. Like a crab.
Exactly. Because he had to shed the old name. But eventually it settles on OpenClaw and it just explodes. It wasn't just another chatbot, you see. It was an agent. It could actually do things.
And that's where OpenAI steps in. It's such a perfect example of different company cultures.
It really is. Anthropic saw the name and sent a cease and desist.
OpenAI saw the product and sent a job offer.
That's the key. They realized this guy was building the future on top of their models, and they wanted him in-house. He went from launch to leading OpenAI's personal agents team in 8 weeks.
8 weeks? That's almost unheard of.
And he wrote about it. He said he could have raised VC money, built it into a company, but building at OpenAI was just, quote, the fastest way to bring this to everyone.
But what happens to the project? Usually in these acqui-hires, the open source project just dies.
Surprisingly, no. And this is the really smart part. OpenClaw is moving to a foundation. It's staying open source. OpenAI is actually going to sponsor its development.
So they get the talent inside to build their own version, but they keep the community happy by keeping the original project alive.
Exactly. It's a win-win for them. And it shows they're going all in on agents. We're moving from chatting with a bot to assigning tasks to a bot.
But that brings up a problem, doesn't it? Agents can be really slow.
They can be. If you ask an agent to do complex research, it has to browse the web. And the web is built for human eyes. It's slow, it's bloated.
All those ads and trackers.
Right. And if your agent needs to make, say, 50 searches to complete a task, and each one takes a couple of seconds, the user is just sitting there staring at a spinner. It feels broken.
Which is a perfect lead-in to our next story.
It is. A startup called Exa just launched a new product called Exa Instant.
And the claim is it's the world's fastest search engine.
Yes, but with a huge asterisk. It's not for you and me.
It's for the bots.
It's for the bots. For a human, it might be 200 milliseconds faster than Google. You wouldn't even notice. But for an AI agent, 200 milliseconds is an eternity. Exa Instant gets results in under 200 meters.
Okay, so break down the math. Why does that tiny slice of time actually matter?
Think about that deep research agent we just mentioned. It might make 50 search calls in a single workflow. Most search APIs are just wrappers around Google, which adds, 700 milliseconds of latency per call.
So over 50 calls, you've added, 35 seconds of just dead time?
More than that, sometimes closer to a minute. By cutting each call down to under 200 meters, Exa can save an agent tens of seconds of pure processing time. That's the difference between an app feeling instant and an app feeling slow and clunky.
So it's not about the AI models getting faster, it's the infrastructure around them.
That's the aha moment. We're building a parallel internet, one for humans and a much, much faster one for machines.
Let's shift gears a bit. I want to talk about some of the other major updates, and let's start with a company called Simile.
Simile. Yeah, this one is pretty wild. A Stanford spinout just came out of stealth with $100 million in funding.
And their tech. It's not a large language model. It's a model designed to predict human decisions.
It sounds like science fiction. They call it generative social simulation. You can basically create a digital sandbox with AI agents that mimic real people or groups and then run scenarios.
So you could, rehearse consequential choices, I think is the phrase they used, like A/B testing a business decision before you make it.
That's exactly the pitch. And their launch video got over 2 million views. Because, it's a seductive idea. We all want to know what's going to happen. Simile is basically selling a crystal ball.
It's fascinating. And sticking with consequential choices, let's turn to the Pentagon. There's some friction happening with Anthropic.
There is. The Pentagon is apparently thinking about cutting a $200 million defense deal with them.
And this all comes down to Anthropic's safety-focused brand, right?
Yeah.
Their usage policy.
Right. Anthropic doesn't want Claude being used for military applications that could cause harm, but the military needs what they call all lawful purposes. They can't have a chatbot refusing to help with tactical planning.
But here's the twist. It's being reported that Claude was used via a Palantir deployment to support the operation that captured Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro.
Which shows you the problem. Once the model is available through an API, controlling its use downstream is almost impossible. The military will find a way to use the best tool for the job.
It's a huge loophole in those safety policies.
It is. Now, for something completely different, let's talk about Spotify.
Yes. The CEO, Gustav Soderstrom, said something that really stood out. He said Spotify's top developers haven't written a single line of code this year.
Not one line. Now, there's probably a bit of CEO hyperbole there, but the core message is real. The role of a senior developer is changing.
So they're not coding. What are they doing?
They're becoming architects. They're designing the systems, prompting the AI, and reviewing the logic. The AI is the one laying the bricks, writing the boilerplate code. The human is the one designing the building.
Which sounds great for senior engineers.
Yeah.
But what about junior engineers? How do you learn to be an architect if you never learn how to lay bricks?
That's the billion-dollar question. It completely breaks the apprenticeship model that software development has been built on for decades.
And finally, in this section, let's look at education. New results from Alpha School.
This is a really interesting one. It's an AI-first school where students only have a 2-hour academic day.
2 hours. And the results.
The students are scoring in the 99th percentile across almost every subject because the learning is completely personalized by an AI tutor. It's ruthlessly efficient.
It really makes you question what the other 6 hours of a normal school day are for.
Exactly. Is it for socialization, art, sports, or is it just babysitting?
Okay, before we wrap, let's hit some of the trending AI tools that have been making waves.
Let's do a quick roundup. First, for developers, there's Kimi Claw.
That loops back to our first story. It lets you deploy those OpenClaw agents directly to the cloud.
Then there's FireRed-Image-Edit, a new open-source model that's getting state-of-the-art results for editing images.
And for anyone creating content, QuikAuthor turns videos and PDFs into interactive e-learning courses.
There's also AIWriteBook, which claims to let you write and publish a book on Kindle in just a few hours.
I have mixed feelings on that one.
Me too. For job seekers, there's Reztune, which instantly rewrites and formats your resume for a specific job.
And AptiBuild, a tool that supposedly turns your hidden talents into profitable app ideas.
And finally, Google has upgraded its reasoning mode. It's now called Gemini 3 Deep Think. Use it for complex logic, math, that kind of thing.
It really feels like the tools are getting so much more specialized now.
That's the trend. We're moving from general-purpose chatbots to an era of specialized agents, and the companies weaving them together are the ones who are going to win.
So I guess the question for you listening is, are you still focused on laying the individual bricks, or are you learning how to be the architect? Because the bricks are starting to lay themselves.
And they're doing it faster every single day.
That's all the time we have. If you found this useful, please follow the show and share with a friend.
We appreciate it.
We'll see you in the next episode.